Higher Power 97.9 FM, and of course TVXYZ. Where your special coverage. Wanga Yanga Bubo won this Wababa Yasuafo, Yera John Dramani Mahama, in administration Imono, Vet in Unadensu Yade Erebremo, on Power 97.9, and of course TVXYZ. I am a Krakow Feed Darko. I am here with my colleagues here in the studio. Copim say I am Rasebe Guafuno Betina say our appointment and as a vetting committee in this or no. Yabe analysis. And Crankran individuals in Inara. Baby, I want me Rasebe Gua and as a worry at this Rasebe Guafono. I also the Hus and Bebremo. People are streaming live on Facebook, your Power 979, and on TV XYZ Ghana. Nra nipa basa and our mukopuemu our vetting committee no enim. Honorable Harina Idrisu, Eriko Poku, Wamunyara and Wamukopuemu appointment committee no enim. And that day, Tuesday, 21st of January 2025, we are expecting Dr. Agnes Namomolate, Member of Parliament for Krowo constituency, and of course Elizabeth Ofosue-Jare, the Minister Designate for Trade, Agribusiness and Industry. We are expecting them today to appear before the vetting committee, and of course Madame Emiliatha Sani Penny Eshawanganim Senate Wababe Prem our vetting committee no enim Senate Yabetu to Wangano Niangashe Niawawa Edemayeng Eti Johnny Sabre on radio, on TV, and of course on online. And your Power 97.9. But ansana na minu anuma yenge tresha wa studio habeka sano. Yabekwa kwashe nwania edi kang esi wa parliament and as a vetting committee no enim nia micro minority for area wang sama wanga yengo ajinse wabe njunjana mufo ni nyina no yedi hunsembe bremo ni see between the minority leader micro minority leader Apenyo Markin and of course the vetting committee chairman who happens to be the first deputy speaker of parliament Mr. Bernard here for one time no yedi ni nyina bebremo so once again, thank you for joining us. I am a Krakow Fidakon. I am in the house this morning. Thank you. But answer because will be on to know what are your expectations? I want to pay and they woke up in a vetting committee. No anymore. What are you expecting from them? But to me the Nina Braille on Facebook, on Power 979, and of course on TVXYZ Ghana. Rama Husenia Nobo Eriko Poku Echrechering Samu Edichere Yang Panga Betumia Faso Nordin Sachrabeba Panga Betumia Bua Yang Na Omangana Yenu who Samnia Mabakonka Mayeno Wininara if I hurry Nedriso the perception and Nani Pebi were before the election 2024 no Nani Pebi Eric Chemsa His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and the NDC Ekobasa Wodin Kunima people have a perception say Biana free as a chest na yabe cancel but and no hurry Nedriso and making it clear His Excellency the President of the Republic of Ghana John Dramani Mahama has no intentions of cancelling the free SHS program. And of course, President Akufo-Addo, during his tenure as the President of this Republic, Okachre constructed 11,000 kilometers of roads. Mokaya Magana Funisam Jurafuni opposition for then. Eka so Mampanu Samo Kai Brebium. Esan Sewo who said, and Samanyas Anete, and Rabra Ora Agboja Kwame Gavins, the Minister Designate for Roads and Highways, Eco Primo Vetting Committee, no anymore, Ekikan, perfect Muse, His Excellency President Akufo-Addo, the former President of Ghana, no, needs someone one more Kika, Yano, and Yano Quarisa, Samu Constrate, 11,000 kilometers of roads, number 600,000 Kakribi Pe, and oh, yay. Nina Yang Semanano Pay the Bebremo. If I Osaka Safa, Ayatobu, ochirem se to wa ye tua wo ye mamu asenkafu tua wo ye akwantepon so na bo ye ma ye nya sika na ye akwan ye disiesie no okan se ye send bebe biom but this time around no ye be fa no abefo kwan so na ye de tua na bebo ye ma nyoma nyina akoso ye enti eno so amma kwan se bia ye be ka se ye be ne digital ni nti no e bia na omanfo nya adumanya debi enye sa no kan no yanko tie honorable Kwame Gboja Agavens eye ni nsemo okan ye eno awo vetting committee no eni wo ni nsemo ahoro okan efa no se abandoned down no one construct 11,000 kilometers of roads NFA to so no ye betua biom no ne mu no ye be fa ba kwanso no yanko ni go tie nsemo Gboja Agavens kan ni bi
pounding daily including today so that we can make it possible for us to derive value for the monies we spend on our projects. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chief Whip.
Okay, Chairman, thank you very much. Let me...
No, you hold on.
Chief Whip, congrats. I heard you quite well when you spoke at length, looking at the interest and debt that has accrued over the years. And you beautifully also added that when this House is gracious enough to approve you, you will sit with the finance minister. That was your first statement. And then you also wondered how the finance minister will navigate in the face of the difficulties. I also know you have been ranking on the Rules Committee for a while. If you put all together, you should be telling us solutions. And being aware of all these challenges, what are some of the solutions you want to profess in the wake of the difficulties we have? Yes, we are all aware of the difficulties, the interests, and all that. What are the solutions? I heard you on your political platform and all the good things you said, referencing your manifesto and all that. Tell us some solutions.
Yes, thank you very much. I think this is a very important question. First of all, whatever solutions we have, we still owe and we have to pay. That is why I referenced the finance minister to start with. How is he going to raise the money? I don't know at the moment. It is his responsibility to raise the money. But I think additionally, what we should be doing is to sit down with the industry players, contractors, and the agencies that are awarding road contract. We need to sit down with them. The way we contract, the way we write some of the contracts have to be reviewed. Government itself need to take a step back to find out whether it is appropriate to keep awarding projects when no one knows where the projects are going to be financed. Take the 2024 budget. Go to capital expenditure section. You may realize that the entire amount there that is for capital expenditure at the road sector may not be more than 4 billion Ghana cedi. Yet, this year alone, or last year alone, the quantum of projects awarded is probably fourfold. So why is it possible to award projects 4 times what has been allocated for you in the budget? So it is something we need to work out with, and the easiest way to do this is to sit down with the industry players, the contractors, and the awarding agencies to come up with something that does not actually make the contractor worse off, because we want to build their capacity, and they're also businessmen that are employing people, and also make it possible for government to be able to pay for what we are actually contracted to do between ourselves and the contractors. So the synergy between these should.
Enti wey Kwame Gboja Agavens opening a one body din say what jeni tuma obaba minister for roads and highways say we man mo enenro akopem vetting committee no enim no and wakeka nsemi bi e de akere yanko ne nko hwe nro anso no banter between the minority leader Aprenyo Markin and then the vetting committee chairman Bernard Ahiafo. It's my by no, and are we expecting same Sebesiana? But before that, no young Kongosha and Rasa Bantanesi between the two gentlemen or vetting committee, no, so no young Kongosha and Yesi Ranson, Yamran, Metricincomo. Yaboy, who didn't say Sabaka, ASA, near AC and Rano between a minority leader, Ora, Aprenyo Markin, and of course, a vetting committee chairman, Ora, Bernard Ahiafo. Enti yensa kanwa na se yensa kan sa wonwuni na ye de bebramo but se Owura Gboja Agavens ni sama okafa tobuth ho se this time around John Dramani Mahama administration no yɛbɛhu ni sɛ yɛbɛfa abɛfo kwan so ne de atua to na no aboa yɛ man yɛn akwan horo a yɛn ayɛ no anase yɛpɛ sɛ yɛyɛ no yɛbɛnya sika de afim de ayɛ no sɛ saa ni no ayɛ ready mpawtɔ mumia yɛnkɔ ne yɛnkɔhwɛ ne yɛnkɔtie nea ɔkan no so no a wɔ vet committee no anim.
If we're going to run this on a new technological platform, we need to find out how many of them can actually participate, if they need retraining or whatever role they can play. So indeed, if it's coming back, we should be able to provide opportunity for some of those who have got experience in working in the toll booths. Though there will not be toll booths, if we can re-engage them in other sectors, we should be able to do that. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Eti wei ani nienra esi ye ewo vet committee no anim yewra kwame agboja conference ni sama okan efa eye tohu aye betua to booth no eye kwanga ye befa so na engetua ye benya sika frim na ye di ayeye ye ngakwan this time around no ebeye abefo kwan so digitalized ene ye befa so na ye di ayeden ye di etua na tumi abu ayen ewo sa okwan no so na yebenya sika so edi efrim na bibia so akoso ye kama kama edi amaye enti orua eye agboja kwame gavins ena nra wutie no okopim wo vet committee no enim no eno kan sa asem no edi emaye wo ho brepem no won a won kan so no nia wo kan eno a wo vet committee no enim no ye de ni nyina so no epepremo na mahune eko but in the studio hanmo na no pe no me wo menua barima eye odefo kwesi bechi ono no to nkrafi Ghana mrahye begwamedi brayen de biara da fe ekwa krantman so abeka me ho e wo studio mpanefo enuanom me momache
ye ni akra
bibia boko
nyame adom
boko nsenya boko sa
nye boko sa nde nye boko sa no ma nika ma wo defo kwesi bechi ma me ma eye hyeden ye nim se ye nyina ye ma me ye nua defo kwesi bechi ni ma me da fam eti kwesi ye ma hyeden biom ye jedi sem tutu eguso arekoso
nyame adom first match ani ebesia ebe ya brewa na yesie no
mo ye do nyame ase ebe ba so we
ebe ba so kuma se hye obisi ase
okay
atwuma ngo biaja district
very well okay ye fi ho no me yemra ye kobo twetwe so me be free so because una all parliament first of all no enua anajofa vetting no ena ye de ni nyina ba na wie ma ye enua na esi ni nyina no ma ye run up na ye hu ne ko na answer ba ena dey
me da se eba se ye toto asoafo a omampanyin bi abo mudin se ye ntutu ma no na so emre ba omun tutu anotutu ye no koso yi na wo mse fata se de adwuma ne hye omun sa na koso afibia sa ne ma we be hya ase akasa e wo benadahiafo ene yewura afenyo marking no sa na ebi wo ju ajaho ene osechi mensa bonsu ntem eduru me bi a ju osechi mensa bonsu so onte ase ju ajaho so sisi sabo no maka omane bria na afi no omanu masumdwe abuam na dwuma de na eden akoso unse emrahye bejafo dwumadie ne adwenkyere ene service akyinyigie so ese nete anase se ne ye no enti obi o kyere kwankora ofaso a oye na Ghana fo bete ase na daachi bi se omudi dwumadie hye omunsa asamanyaku ano enti na ma ya na sometime akyinyigie na ase ohun se anibri sam aiden abon hono no enti sa kwan de no aba se owura afenyo marking de ende ya abro so kakra sometimes sem no bi ho no ma se no ase senka yebo kwame abuja so bible mu di so awie na nko senka oka bibi kakra fa no nanka dwumadi ni hya ase no enu kwa ibi be 2 hours enu ne ade anya de entwa yi or if you say as a ranking member no wo akwanya se obusa question be 6 and 10 kra ana se obi busa question na se wo bibi kan wo kra tim se busa question answer na dru so and sa yi na no pa no ye ne de nanka also otwen e dru so nanka wo de and so far do ma ye ne de mfi se ne kwan so ano no na shebejafo no dwumadi also mu de na no mu de ne ba so public no mu nim se de shebejafo dwumadi ne ekoso ntedu me bia na akwa se hi bufu bebiri but omu no omu to mu ho ase
gina ha mame meba osubio na watu aso but enra nso so no ora rekopoku no so nga boni din se wo jeni tuma ba ye osuafo behwe ye nua na kwekwa wo nsam so ekopemu eye vetting committee no enim aprenyo marking ekeka nsam bi efa ne ho bra anototo adwumadi na erikoso no yenkoni yenkotie eye aprenyo marking ni nsam o kafa erikopoku ne yemra na emetu ankomo twetwe so yenkotie
so your submissions must be brief as well. Mr. Chairman, it is no, he has asked a question. I must respond. I haven't answered the question. No, I haven't answered the question. Obienim sa wabi, Missy Chasso. Chasso. Ah, Yakasamati, Chasso.
So,
enti ni enrani bi ekosi wo vetting committee no anymore parliament or therefore
akra ora yira Eric Poku de Ghana ha no obi anim se saa no se da fenyo kai ne saa no tie se ba kuyayensem ho enye kuyayensem ho nko a un se no a okutu constitutional provision be ma afenyo ka se law kakra na e de twitwa no ho so saa ba honom on ne trans na on ne din komo se kwesi atem bia wo ka asemachi obi bia make sure say no kra na wo ka na dachi bi okofa ekire no hu se nya no kra emudie wo mu no integrity awo na walusi it tem bia make sure so be kan kra eti o decide na dijuma ma emrahye bejom so sori na ogina ho no ma obi anyi na chinyi obi ankasa asema wo kan nya no kra na say cause wo kaka chen say nya no kra obi proof just asema kan no kra obi o the research o the date ni bibia be kan wa ye de ama enti ansa obi sori jan na so akasa na onim de oka eti enya nwanwa say oko asoye na yede na kono
me da say o therefore kwasi ba chi na mote na nkana enche meko menua bia eye akwa krantima nchen but answer na meko no krantima apanyo marking no abra haru na drisun so ekopue mu ho no mo as education minister designate no apanyo marking kro ya eye micro minority leader
adin
azombezadilo okay mate enti yenkotie ni samwa okafa eye haru na drisun ho no ni emra na me fem bisa ko sambi wo ho enti yenkotie nsema apanyo marking ekafa haru na drisun
to make some few remarks. This is a very nostalgic moment for me, as you all very much aware. Honorable Harry Nedrusu is a respected colleague who has inspired me in so many ways. On this occasion, and on this occasion only, the minority's position is that Dr. Yao Educhum shall take up the questions and then ask some few questions on our behalf. These are largely policy questions, and thereafter I will have some few bites, and then the nominee will most likely be discharged. We are reminding the majority that their well-behaved posture will lead to the fast tracking of the nominee.
Enti nekosunwa no bini again minority leader apanyo marking esa ka se mi se enye bone nya mfunso bia se obi be oni property anase obi be nya japade bi ewo miamia bi etise cantonment ewon kan ha yenkotie no so se ne okanify.
So you live at cantonment?
yes,
very well. Now, this residential facility, this property, is it a rented property or it is your house?
it is my house.
You are very honest. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Honorable Arnedrus. The reason why we, the young ones, respect you is such courage to face the truth that will take you higher, as prophesied by Roxanne. So it is no offense for a politician to own a property at cantonment, correct?
Not at all.
Enti way a micro minority leader apanyo marking also MP for a Futu constituency was Central Region. Krantima yedi Harry Nedrisu abesi wenim satutunano as education minister designate. Cantonment ejapade de ebefemu ebeye dengo.
Akrana afenyo epeso yusa akwenja no edi yi ni ho ano ekirekire nsem emaganafo but emfa ni nyina ne se ensem da bonten se wokọ previous government aban atwam nduro yi akona asofo ni bebre atoton sase o mana sase o mafa na se obi ofi e cantonment enye bone se de oru Haruna Drusu ekan no na mo yambisa se kwan benso na ofa enya sa ejapade no woto no akwampa so said dia wo so to no anasa wo aban mu nti e na wo fa asase ne fofofo ebi kura mka se no bibi wo so e na wo de tumi a sabre na wo e na wo de kopiapia nipa no ejuru ni niam afi ho na wo fa eye ade no eno ne na e ma ne ye ensonsure kakra me fa akwampa so to na misima de a eye miame de a na eno nkire se bia politician na wontimi nya da wo cantonment na senkra ba bia na mo kwa abefa so enya japado no eno ne nia ganafo ya kasa se for kwampa so emfa wutumi awo ne ade so inje asase ye obide anaso aban asase da ho enkofa se me aban mu nti no meton fofofo de ama me ho eno na problem no na so for kwampa so awusika na de to asase sidan wo cantonment anankra ba bia eno no enye bone emfa wo se we politician anase wo ye teacher ni anase obia na mo kwa abefa so no nkofa aban asase anamfa wutumi awon ko isi obi nje na asase no eno ena ma de no eye asema ganafo ye ka ho asem nti bebi a obisa no nipa no education sector no ko nti anka wenu ensi mo bebia na so je nim na afenyo pa marking epeso oye ewo eye fio so do ekirechiri aka se bia se na so dia wo ye no wonti mi fund to obi di ho eye soronko.
Okay Mati, but ubatua so ho amame me pese me bisa wasem bi se sani afenyo marking or ye no or person fasa akwanya ne so na bia previous administration crofo se ne wa kan no ye de cover won ana na bia me ye ntwe won aso ana e bia na abangi wo trimopo bi se obeto anamon bi e de won be kwa kogina mranim ti ase a leader no as a minority leader no person protect one but anzana ubeyi sansemi ano e de amame no owura Dr. Kasiel atu forcing ewa sembi a person oka e de kire aprenyo marking ewo sa subangi ani niye ya order orida na di ewo vetting committee enim yanko gotie Dr. Kasiel atu forcing ni sema okafa e aprenyo marking ni subang ani niye orida na di ewo vetting committee na enim no yanko ne gotie mra.
Chairman, I come on a point of order.
Very well. Your interruption is let's okay, no problem.
Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, we have traveled this road before.
Which road? This road.
This will not be the first time you vet a nominee.
It's a beaten path.
This will not be the end. Mr. Chairman, at all times we are guided by our standing orders. Our standing orders on this matter is so clear. Mr. Chairman, because he's speaking sense. The orders of this house is clear that any time a committee, a matter has been referred to a committee, the committee must concentrate and deal with the matter before the committee. The minority leader is bringing in matters that relate to appointment and dismissal of chief executives. It has nothing to do with the matter before us. Mr. Chairman, this cannot be tolerated. This cannot be tolerated. The majority leader, the minority leader can at all times address the media or use other tools available to him as the minority leader to address his concerns.
Like he does.
But he cannot use this platform to address matters that are irrelevant to what is before us. What he's talking about, Mr. Chairman, is irrelevant to the matter before us. And so we cannot entertain it. Mr. Chairman, I urge you to rule him completely out of order. He is out of order. Please rule him out and let's deal with the matter before us. Rule him out because what the matter before us has nothing to do with what he is asking or what he's reading. There are other tools he can use. Parliament will be sitting tomorrow. He can come in the form of a statement or whatever you want to do. But as we sit here, we are here to vet the minister responsible for roads. The minister responsible for roads. Let's deal with the matter. The man has been sitting here for how long? For 1 hour, dealing with preliminary issues. This is not a problem, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, be strong and do your job.
enti we Dr. Kessiel atu forcing or you be no so enche what you need to my baby or so for Besha Ghana Yansi Kasem so for to something. But answer na mesa about in champion my main parliament in prepare no my main catcher here for the form musha what TVXYZ in the power 97.9 FM say appointment committee no chairman no ora I hear for what na say and the fee wanga wabetutu wanga yanga power so no wanga tena say Ahmed Ibrahim so amane boni chem so munyina womo ho amabua atena say ene efe former agric minister Brian Champion no so atena say Sabri entianche kra no yebe crossover ne akọ balance na yebe ko ho no yebe mini minua bia ekwan so betwetwe nkomo kakra na fi therefore kwasi bechi enso bekasa kakra ewo hands na cross over to appointment committee for akache ewo parliament se ne be ya yebe hwe ne Eric Koso ewo ehonom but utien sema Dr. Kessiel to force and ekan no say minority leader nin sema kan no chairman and ruling no out only free crown only there ujedi say what can
no kwan so a akra no kwan so a na ni nyina ne say ye wa kwanje bebre betimi dia enuoma say bibi enkoye mo na pese o kire wadwena afenyo marking enim kwan fa so press conference ni ade dey so mo ye bi back to back so timi ye pa enti enya sabre na ahemfo betena ho committee members abetena ho na nipa mo beto na no be veteran no so aye ready na use that time no say what the address issue after bibia no anampo betimi asore ntem na your press conference and I say the person wetimi aye na what the nsam na to dwa na nsam twa fa tonka e say bia what ka say bia that time na what dia mam say bia for one this summer the kind for to gwa na fe o ja sanima na say o waste time drag issues ni nyina kan and drama ntimi and start owura governs ni veteran into I'm expecting say maybe sano enya de ebekoso na almost starting 10 we now press conference we are quite what wanting obi ensi ho kwan
okay me that question ba me mount enne yehwe ni say nipa he ne ombekwa akopem committee na
nipa 9
okay
sorry fache me Ahmed Ibrahim emrasho bedwani oji amade shewo banda
okay
Agnes Namomolati Klo
okay
Anna Elizabeth Ofosu Ejare Techmanov
okay
Anna Shama MP
Ata
Sanko wina ehwe ni mu se abedwafo no ebetutu mu ano ne na se ombibia cost pepepa na parliament etrase a omde report akọ na parliament iji omutuma na omampanyi dwumade ode ahye omunsa no omabahye omadwuma se asoafo a ombedi dwumade aboa omangana
okay akua Ahmed Ibrahim ehun se wakroche ni hunsem kakra de gu nkrata so etiefo ayekra de yepese ehun maya ni ho abakosem kakra
yo Ahmed Ibrahim said ye nyina ye nim no oye mra chebedwani ewo eye banda empatemu eye banda abatom peso so na eho eno na so no ofi banda ayin kraka sa no so awobono mantem no emu so ko school bebrea na nikasim no se asuapon na ne nyina de botofa no asuapon na de botofa no enenti osuade ewo University of Ghana Legon eho enokonya bachelor's degree of political science ni makase oyo mayo ni prekope osua political science and afa aya philosophy and so ekam na 2001 and which oye aya masters of business administration okita degree no and afa chese okọ aya specialize ewo aya finance and so aya Ghana Institute of Management and Public Administration and as Gimpe ho and okonya sa abodin krata no na so far no answer obehye na mayosam ni adekora se no na oye chief executive officer Emma Flamingo aya publications na yehwe so ba amayomu se aya mbrahye bedwani ankasa no onhye da enya ministerial appointment bia ye na mum eba committee ahodo na se waya dwuma ahodo ewo so na committee ye special budget committee mbrahye bedwafie na oye member sanso ana air communications and also committee no or your member and a local government and rural development and also or your member and a business committee no and also okama is no so no otimi aye adwuma ebuanti no siaka se bia ye hwe adwuma wa as minister na ye dia kan sam anope a ye nya biesa ne so on ye minister on the ministerial position biada na fie ni first time wodiam but wo hwe sadia watimi asua de e wo suahum mrahye badwafie kra no oba ho ache ne ade nyina na se adwuma bi a wo de bema papa no obetimi abo adwuma nti no mejudi se dia yabo no obetimi aboa na ati se eye na adwuma no so no etimi akoso ade ama on Ghana fu nyina.
Okay. Minu Erica say no so kopwe Parliament House appointment committee no enim na Ura Mahama Yariga wabedru ho no musabre Minu Erica say no watena se enche kra no wo befiase na wo de ano toto adwumade no atoaso but mameko order for mami bisa wo hwe Ura Ahmed Ibrahima on hodi any ministerial position da but una ni wo parliament committees ahoro de wa serve ewo so wo hwe na wo jedi se ni position wodere ma no yi wo hwe na obetumi akramuye
obetimi aye akra every say o
parliament ma oni suka kama mi
o mrahye badwam na se o committee so a minister adwuma na wo ye wo te say de wo ye adwuma e wa so ye yes local government for instance na wo ye member wo ho no no dwuma dia mini local government ni di bia no omu ne ba e de beto omanim no mabobo ho ansa na o ma local government no kwan no makwakoye
okay
en samri a wo de ne na esi ho no afi no kwakoye adwuma but onim de wo ba bia wo ye den okono onim se de o mo si wo mu nema on se de o matoto mu nema wo ene de ministry ni pese o mo ye den eye ana two wasan a leader why chief deputy chief of from time no more minority na ana oba be majority wasan ba ye first deputy whip enti no sa nema we sampanifo we nyina no emrahye bejafo dwumadi bia fa omanim ansana emrahye bejafo na betena se sankofo we na no pa sorry omni speaker committee ansana omaba betena se emrahye bejom edija enti obi a okọ emrahye bejom since 2009 ebepim ne no se wo de dwumadi bi hye ne nsa obetimadi dwuma no amana yi efi se wo emrahye bejom ho no ne se committee na hodo dwumadi bi omudi bia no eye ministry no enhyehyeye ena omo de ba parliament no mabobo ho ansa na ministry no kwa ma okre edim nye so obetima aye adwuma no pa se de ebe wa ma fada ana two enye ono nko a ukọ no chief director so other directors na ade eden ewo ho no ma omo na be churchill se de obesi ade dwumadi edini nyina nse wo be ma ho kwan na nkofo no mo ho no wachi okwan kre fa so eden edi dwuma na bibi akiri wadwen e bia so obusa o advisors bi o mo nchen na wo hu se de obesi atoto niema eti adwuma de obetima ye
Ekwia uhwe Ghana yan local governance system na emputu nyina no ho no mu na se niema ebehwe ase ya na se niema nkoso nyina no ya na type fi ho no mu ba party food soldiers nso behwe o ye nya bribia ye kwa assembly ha wo muso mu ne hwe enti ni nyina bewie local government ministry ho Ahmed Ibrahim bra oriko ho no egden na orihwe nim so betumi aye na aban mu nsem any party nsem na obetumi akramu ye na at the end of the day no ye be say anase ye rinkote so party fubuefu it is BBC hono kota local assemblies hono again no hwe nim so obetumi aye e wo sa sector ho
dia manida kwan se Ahmed beye honorable Ahmed Ibrahim beye e ho ni se obehwe se eye party no ejitafo grassroots for no yenji omuma entini nyina na wo so ne district assemblies anase municipal for no etimi ekasa se be na bia o whatever it is obi nkasa bia party bi ba ho a pejam sika nyina afama no anase chenchina nchema na adwuma bi enye se bia bi ni ho a na mokwan a woni party man be kasa no eno etimi bo ma grassroots no so no still a omunya gide because the party ebe win a ejina efi grassroots ho enefi ba nti o so ye adwuma no eboa na se bia enwuma bi o se ekoso ne ade nyina no obetimi ani labor no coordinate na enwuma be bi ekoso o hwe ono ane constituency mu kra na cashew ni ade bebre ho di se bia cashew factory bi ni ade ne betkoso a local government for rural development ni ade no omo ne labor kaboma se enwuma no obetimi akoso na party man so nya bia na mom ni se bia district assembly ana DC ni MTC no omo munamuna toto mapomu ema grassroots members ne dia and the nyame anim ni o ma so be hye
okay ekwa kwantima na motini kana ru account o kata na no pe o hwe ye da CP se o hwe ye nyame o chira bi na kwasi se Ahmed Ibrahim or recall local government ministry o be hwe wom say oh DCB anase MCB e wotumupo bi say e bia dachi bia oba be ye MP entino adwuma e wo se oye no on the sector minister no entimi collaborate ma wo munye ne ye enti no adwuma na wo se oye no na nya sabria Ahmed Ibrahim na oye committee member ɛwɔ local government committee so wɔ parliament sisia no ɔkɔ akɔyɛ minister sector minister nankasa no ɛdɛn nkitahudi ɛna ɔhwɛ anim sɛ ɛbɛkɔ so between ɔno and various MMDCs across the country.
Akwame da say ɔhwɛ no kra nyɛ local government no nko a o yɛsa de chieftaincy aba bɛka ho if you say yɛ chieftaincy ministry na firi onti asa de nananom ahemfo dwumadie a wɔn a ɔsoafo a ɔhwɛ nanam ahemfo so dwumadie na sa aka no they say asoyɛ na kɔyɛ asoyɛ kɛseɛ pa they say wɔne nananom na ɛkɔ akɔyɛ adwuma na obi a ministry a wɔne nananom yɛ adwuma de metima ka sɛ nka wɔne wɔ ha if you say sɛ wo ho kyerɛwa nananom hɔ no yɛ kɔkɔgye nyansa ne afutuo ɛnti sɛ ɔka nananom bɛn ho no ɔno mu yɛ adwuma mfi sɛ ne dwumadie a ɔde bia na ɛbɛkɔ so waa no ana adeɛ baako a yɛ na ɛha adwen paa kɛse ɛma local government minister biara ɛne regional ministers ne sɛ ɔbɛhwɛ DC sɛ wɔ menhyɛ regional minister ase DC sɛ wɔ menhyɛ local government minister ase wote ase saa nneɛma wɔ no ɛyɛ na ɛyɛ adeɛ ɛha adwen but ɔmo nyinaa kɔyɛ party baako na amede yɛ NDC ni na NDC DC anase MCA be yin susu NDC ni de also ade ba ko na also MDC wo mani so se o man Ghana no mu som no
okay
afi so o mu sa som o mu party NDC no na afi so o man pan John Dramani Mahama se wakọ no wasan ba biem na ni tuade hunu papa esi nani so a opese o de change ba Ghana no o mbeboa na saa de na time tumpon saa ne ma miensa woni ade a wo se hia obia ora John Dramani Mahama ama appointment ansa na wankasa wo de ade aba se odi agro na NDC lose election the next 4 years a entokwa awoko ne no abo na so ora John Dramani Mahama ene NDC entimi anko the next election na enhyehyɛ odi begu akwam nyina na ebe kwa enti obi ene wodu CV akwa woji appointment ade ama woni ade ba kwa so wodu ni se wo sum man Ghana wo sum NDC afins wo bo ama ora John Dramani Mahama said waka se enus onko retirement no wagya dini papa ama man Ghana na no yehia baabi ye ne Canadian High Commission o se no answer person or call retirement or person ja legacy enti obi person person ja edin papa bia no fi say dey no person na bosha o share Ghana fo nyina so enti bi ndisu kura na emu oha mu ntiche mu eduoso nkọ eduonwotwe de also tim disu no hu say oh Ghana fo hu say yes wa bomodin we kire say wo koye na wo ka say akabiem yensa amam na bibia aka na mama ye no na nu ndi oba ba ya ampa na ahwe hyehyɛ wo de agu akwam na wotwe mienu ntam ni a say amanfo enya gidi e de akomapa ene isuro eye adwuma obuo ka ho ye adwuma o ha John Dramani Mahama se do asi ahya ase no ni bibia be koso one ama obi a obema post bia no oso daache bi ye twro nsem papa afo John Dramani Mahama e bia ka we ni ade a minister appointee CEO bia also odisi nani so
okay me da say order for kwesi beche na motene nka no onne akua krantima and I'm in the one our studio has a brain. Mammy Fassid and come my best wine. If I told you, baby, or Benya wine, I papa. I'm penny for Aje Atum. Biana Uria event be. Na open sound betting me no bong to you. A yidi one months a papa padia. Me pacho a best wine a catching Obenya Sansani be now at all. Ensano a papa. Na best wine for one a catching on me pacho in some kuto no water or honomo. Ne momo X natural mineral water ya de biara da ye bohu de wo kase free so no me pa cha obanya dodo no so etu e wo honom obi baby say me hu best one for won akache e wo he me pa cha won e wo number 34 ni Norte Nyanchi Street onnam Jawulu bottom ho First Street ni so e wo Jawulu Junction e ho no obutu ana say one branch back so e wo East Legon wamo e ben Pigberry me pa cha betumi afre 050 761 3900 050 761 3900 Kohokoto wine papa nibi na X natural mineral water no mi pa mo chaw bia no upedodo etu ubetumi aba yenga juma mu ha na wabetubi ana ubetumi akome komo biara mu udu ho no makache won se upe eye X natural mineral water Food and Drugs Authority for Wangaje Atum.
Honorable members, use the opportunity. Let me use the opportunity to apologize for the late start of the vetting. We scheduled to start at 9 o'clock. But owing to some intervening circumstances, we had to reschedule to 10 o'clock. And eventually it's about 11 that we are starting. So on behalf of the committee, I sincerely apologize to our revered guests. So accept my apology on behalf of the committee. Honourable members, the purpose of today's meeting is to vet our nominees, and we are starting with the Minister Designate for Local Government, Chieftaincy, and Religious Affairs. Deputy Whip of Parliament of the Republic of Ghana, in the person of Ahmed Ibrahim, Member of Parliament for Banda. You are welcome.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
I'll give the floor to the ranking member, if you have any comment.
Chairman, thank you. Honorable colleague, you're welcome. And as the chair said, there were some few matters that we needed to address. So we apologize to you and your guests for the late start. Be assured that we would be very constructive in this morning's engagement without any prejudice. That's all I want to tell you. Thank you so much.
Honourable members, I'll give the opportunity to the nominee to tell us briefly. Clerk, administer the nominee to the oath, and then thereafter he will tell us something brief about himself, and then we can proceed with the questions.
I hereby administer the oath.
I, Ahmed Ibrahim,
Swear by the Almighty God.
Swear by the Almighty God.
That the evidence I shall give before this committee.
That evidence I shall give before this committee.
Touching the matter in issue.
Touching the matter in issue.
Shall be the truth.
Shall be the truth.
The whole truth.
The whole truth.
And nothing but the truth.
And nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you.
Candidate, tell us about yourself in 2 minutes.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, my distinguished colleagues, Nananum, the leadership of the various faiths.
Honorable nominee, you are not addressing Nananum. You are addressing this committee, chair, and that is enough.
Thank you, distinguished leader, for bringing my attention to where I head. Mr. Speaker, as we all know, I am Honorable Ahmed Ibrahim. I was born in Sunyani on 6 May 1974. Had my basic education in Bana. I hail from Bana in Kro. I attended my secondary education in Sunyani Business Secondary School, A-level in Sunyani Secondary School, University of Ghana for Bachelor of Arts, Political Science with Philosophy, then Institute for Public Administration and Management, GIMPA, for Master in Business Administration Finance option. Then certificate course in Institute of Public-Private Partnership at Washington, Virginia, on regulatory impact assessment and cost-benefit analysis. Mr. Speaker, in 2009, 7th January, I happened to be given the privilege to represent the good people of Tyne as the MP for Tyne. Then after 4 years, that constituency was divided. Then I shifted to Bana. And since then, I have been, this is my 5th term as a member of parliament. I was elevated to serve in the leadership of the Parliament of Ghana in 2013. And Mr. Speaker, since 2013, I have been privileged to be the longest serving deputy whip in the Parliament of Ghana. So, Mr. Speaker, these are few things that can be said about me. And because you've given me two minutes, may I bring it here if you permit.
Thank you very much. Men's row.
Honorable nominee.
Honorable members, we will proceed to vet the nominee, and I will give the floor to the ranking member.
Honorable nominee, first let me congratulate you on this, your nomination.
Thank you.
We have page 1 of 6, your CV. So you've written the languages spoken: English, Twi, and Nafara. Can you tell me a bit about the Nafara language?
Mr. Speaker, I am Bana by tribe. I come from Bana Nkro. There are 2 dialects spoken by the people, Bana people. The Bana itself represents the name of the towns, but the indigenous people living there are the Libis and the Nafaras. And I am Nafar, and that's the dialect I speak.
So, honorable ranking member, if you understand the language, speak with him.
Where do you live?
Mr. Speaker, I live at Sakumono in Accra.
At Sakumono, is it a rented property or your own property?
Mr. Speaker, by the grace of God, it's my own property.
Do you have a title to the land?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, I do.
Your lizo, or whoever, don't let me talk law, the one who sold your land to you, was he a chief, or it was a state land, or some real estate company that had acquired it and decided to sell to you?
Mr. Speaker, I live in a property that was sold to me by TDC, Tema Development Corporation.
So that is state land. You know, TDC is the custodian of state lands.
Mr. Speaker.
Let me finish. Tema Development Company.
Mr. Speaker, since TDC is headed by a political head, I agree with you.
And TDC has a standard rate that it applies.
Rightly so, Mr. Chairman.
So there's nothing wrong you owning a property sold to you by state authority. There's nothing wrong.
Mr. Speaker, not all sales are the same.
Please explain. What do you mean by not all sales are the same?
Mr. Speaker, not all sales are the same.
You mean the chairman? You are referring to Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, not all sales are the same.
Yes, and I want you to explain. If you say not all sales are the same, what exactly do you mean?
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Chairman, not all sales are the same because, like I rightly told you, if you go to where I live, we have two different types of state lands. We have the Ransa site and we have the Tema Development Corporation site. There are illegal sales and there are legal sales. That's why I say not all sales are the same.
I'm only confining myself to the legal sales.
Speaker, it is not, legal sales are not wrong.
Very well.
Since they are legal.
So what I want to put across is this. For instance, if you go to Cantonment, if you go to Laboni, if you go to Roman Ridge, if you enter the Ridge Enclave proper, you see high-rise buildings, properties that are owned by non-Ghanaians, some owned by Ghanaians. Do you think that Ghanaians owning such properties, especially if they are politicians, your own view, would it be wrong for a Ghanaian who is a politician to acquire a property in such an enclave the same way a Lebanese, an Indian, a Syrian, a Turkish acquires the same property from the state?
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Chairman, that's why I said from the onset that not all sales are the same. Assuming you have, in every business, there are certain things we call trade secrets. And that is why if you are an insider and you turn around to come and buy from that same deal, I don't think you may be doing a great service to the company where you work. It is in that background that it may be perceived as being wrong. But if, like for instance, just as we are here, excuse me for my word, you may be in opposition. You are not in government. You have no idea about what is happening in government. Therefore, before you have access to procure some of those things, it may be through certain rigorous opportunities. So if that happens, like the other so-called foreigners or strangers that you mentioned, I may have no wrong with that, because there are also Ghanaians who have access or buy access or property in other countries. So that's my view about it.
Okay, Chairman, these are just my intro. I'll leave it here. We'll come back when you are done with that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, man leader.
We shall proceed, starting with Honorable Andrews Chiwite.
Okay, I'll see you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Honorable, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to take this opportunity to congratulate my leader, Mensro.
Anyhow.
Yes, we all believe in these statements because my belief is that Honorable Ahmed believes that if you have God, you don't have to fear. If you have God, anyhow. No wonder he is an elder in the Church of Pentecost. Honorable Leader, we all appreciate you, and we believe that where you are going to make a very great mark. President Mama believes in you. We all believe in you. We have no doubt at all. But Honorable Chair, before I go ahead, I just want you to give me this opportunity to explain this. I serve on the Western Housing Committee as a Vice Chair, and TDC, Tema Development Company, they build houses and sell to the general public. You don't need to have connection before you own a house or before you buy a house from TDC. So, yes, so I just want the general public to know this. They sell land, they sell houses. You can walk in, bargain with them, and buy a house once you have money to do that.
Honorable Chiwete, I am a lawyer, 23 years at the bar.
I had a lot of dealings with Tema Development Corporation, now Tema Development Company. They are into the business of real estate. They build houses and then offer the houses for sale to the general public. They will acquire land, parcel the land, and grant the same land to individuals who are interested to purchase the land and develop. The whole country is aware about the business of TDC. So proceed to ask your question.
Very grateful. Honorable Leader, my question is, do you think the Common Fund Administrator should report to the local government minister? Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, yes.
Well, I have no further questions apart from to wish you well. We'll continue to knock at your doors, especially considering where I come from. Solatona Kalba is a rural district, just like your place. And so I will continue to come there until you help me develop Solatona Kalba. Thank you.
You are welcome.
Thank you very much. I will now give the floor to Honorable Atam Hills.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Honorable Leader, congratulations. And I know you are going to do an awesome job for us at the local government ministry.
Thank you.
Just wanted to ask you a question here. How would you improve the economy around these MMDCAs?
Mr. Chairman, if you read the Constitution, development of the local economy is one of the core mandates of the MMDAs. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, once given the nod, together with my colleagues and all former ministers of local governance, depending on which party they may belong to, we are going to team up together to make sure that we are able to bring strategies and policies to support the vision of His Excellency the President to improve upon the local economy in every district using comparative natural advantages of the various ministries, because they may not be the same.
Thank you. Any further questions? Thank you very much. I will now give the floor to Honorable Martin Ajay Mensah Kosa.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Let me take this opportunity to congratulate my brother and friend, the Honorable Ahmed Ibrahim. I'm happy for him. He's not too new to this sector, and I believe in his capabilities. I wish him well, and I have no doubt that he would excel. I congratulate you, my brother.
Thank you, my very good brother.
So let me begin with one major concern within local governance practitioners. It has been the challenge of lack of adequate human resource. And I recall lots of discussions came up. I had the opportunity of leading a process to introduce a bill in Parliament to establish the University of Local Governance and Development. Fair to have it that with the expiration of the life of the last Parliament, the 8th Parliament, the bill could not go through. I'm sure you are aware of this. Would you give us any assurances to this committee and for that matter local governance practitioners that you would, given the nod, consider this all-important issue of critical concern to our local governance process?
Mr. Chairman, in fact, the Institute of Local Government Studies being converted into a university, as was envisaged by my predecessor and the past government, was something we all were collaborating to make sure that we do. Unfortunately, time was not on our side, so the bill could not go through. If given the nod, Mr. Chairman, thank God, all the former ministers, like I said, we are all going to team up to work together. And looking at the number of SHS graduates who are knocking on the doors of the few universities that we have in the country, we need more universities. And therefore, it is one of the areas we are going to pursue. So, my brother, you are rest assured, your labor will not be in vain.
Thank you. Honorable Chair, my second question is again on another critical issue within the sector, and it has to do with adequate resources in running the MMDAs and agencies of the ministry or within the sector. Aside the traditional statutory releases that government sends to the MMDAs, would you have any plans of initiating other means of enhancing revenue generation for development within the MMDAs? And then give me one or two examples of what initiatives you would want to put across.
Mr. Chairman, thank you for the good question that has just been asked. There are many challenges in the ministry, just as my brother has identified. And therefore, anything that will be done to improve upon the resource base of all the MMDs is something that we are going to work towards. But, Mr. Chairman, just as I said, we'll work together to improve the local economic development of the MMDs. And I said, based on their economic comparative resource endowed advantages. But, Mr. Chairman, from the day since 2009, ever since I entered this chamber, Minister of Local Government upon Minister of Local Government have all been complaining about one critical thing, and that is property rate. We happen to visit about 154 districts, of which myself and the committee members embark upon. One critical area that we can do, the low-hanging fruit, to make sure that we improve upon the funding of the MMDs is property rate. So if my brother is asking of just one or two examples, the first example should be property rate. And Mr. Chairman, we were in this house when the budget was passed and property rate was centralized, taking that core function from the MMDs. The central government could not do it, and therefore it was later suspended and given back to the MMDs. So when given the nod, it's an area we are all going to collectively come together. My brother, thank God you are still in Parliament. And one of us is being posted to the Minister of Finance, if approved. The current majority leader who is going also understands revenue generation very well. And the potential of property rate, what it can give to the MMDs. Mr. Chairman, this is one area that we are all going to work towards. And if all former ministers come on board, practitioners come on board, MPs come on board, together with chiefs, now that the various chiefs and traditional authorities are going to be members of the district, I don't think DCEs, MPs, traditional authorities, and opinion leaders in their various districts will sit there and say central government should come to their place and come and collect property rate, and after that give something to them. So it is the quickest and the fastest way of generating revenue at the district level. So we will not centralize it, we will decentralize it, and it will help to enhance their capacity. So that is the first example, my brother, I can give.
Thank you, Honorable Nominee. I think I have one more.
Very well, go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, my last question has to do with DRIP. The past government, taking cognizance of the fact that we need to maintain our roads, took this initiative. There are various schools of thought. Some believe that the supervision and management of the DRIP program should be placed under the Ministry of Roads and Highways, even though local government owns it. This is grounded on the fear that there could be misuse and the initiative will crumble. I disagree. I think that local government who initiated it should own it. I don't know what the nominee makes of this, but in practical terms, give some indication of how he intends to protect and sustain this initiative so that we can achieve the laudable goals that we envisage for the introduction of the DRIP program.
You'll respond to the question.
Mr. Chairman, the DRIP project or program, District Road Improvement Program, was a laudable one, and it was jointly conceived through the Committee on Local Government, the Parliament leadership, together with the Ministry and Administrator for this Assembly Common Fund. Mr. Chairman, unfortunately, my brother is saying it was owned by the local government ministry. But local government ministry was not part of the procurement. And therefore, there were challenges at birth. And he's asking, how am I going to pursue it? Mr. Chairman, every district chief executive watching me, workers in the Ministry of Local Government watching me, will testify that they have no records of any agreement of the DRIP project. And they have no program, inventory of all the DRIP machines. This is a challenge because it was highly procured at the big house, that the office of the president. So that brought a problem. And therefore, one, there is no management contract. Two, there are no means of spare parts. Three, there are no committees established to take care of them. So if you go, it is fraught with a lot of challenges. And therefore, if given the nod, together with my brother who used to be in the ministry, and together with my team who will be the technocrat at the ministry, we will all work together to make sure that the DRIP program is materialized. Because the machines were procured to improve upon district roads that are not hard. And much money was used. We was common fund in arrest. So you can't use that amount of money on such a program and allow it to go waste. Whether we like it or not, the machines have been procured. And we must put them into good use. Therefore, there must be proper structures, proper agreement, proper monitoring, proper systems to make sure that we have a very good advantage or utility of the machines that were procured. With this, Mr. Speaker, I believe I'm now going there. My brother is here. So we are going to team up. Even on this table, I can count about 2 or 3 local government former ministers. So we have the men on both sides. If we can put everything together and solve Ghana's problems, the problems will be solved.
Thank you very much. I will now give the floor. Very well, if you want to thank the nominee, following your questions, you have to do that immediately.
Let me thank him for the assurances given. I wish him well. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Honourable member,
thank you, my good brother.
Giving the floor to Alhaji Alhassan Omar, let me inform the House that there is an urgent issue which I will have to personally address. So I'll take a short leave of you. In my absence, the Vice Chairman will chair. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Alhaji Omar, you have the floor.
Thank you, Chairman. My good friend and brother Ahmed, Honorable Ahmed, congratulations. I look forward to working with you and bringing the issues of Zabzugu to your office anytime from today. I have one question. I believe my question may fit to a lot of rural constituencies and districts. And it's simple. Would you consider to decentralize waste management contracts at the MMDA's level? Because we see a lot of contracts, whether they like or not, it comes from the top down. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, the question being asked, I'm not privy to any of the waste management contracts. But what I can see is that there were ministerial disalignment because all over the world, waste management is a municipal function and should be a core duty and responsibility of the MMDAs. Waste practitioners or workers are available in every district and municipality. And therefore, the presence of the sanitation ministry will be properly placed in the Ministry of Local Government because they have their presence in every district. And once that is done, the problem may not be about contract, it may be about supervision and monitoring. So if the sanitation department of the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development will be strengthened to make sure that they are able to do proper and effective monitoring of sanitation issues, the problem can be solved. Because it is more of monitoring than just contract.
Thank you. I wish you well.
Thank you, my brother.
Thank you very much. We now have Honorable Muhammad Shaibu.
Mr. Chairman, I'm most grateful. Honorable nominee, congratulations.
Thank you, my good brother.
Your designation, Honorable nominee, Ministry of Local Government, Chieftaincy, and Religious Affairs. I think mention was made of sanitation too. Is that part of it?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, there's sanitation as part of it. It's 3 in 1.
Very well. Trust that I will ask no question about your competence.
Thank you, my brother.
You have demonstrated over the years at the Ministry of Local Government. However, what I don't know is the Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs and the sanitation bit. Already we know that one of the biggest ministries is the local government. If we add chieftaincy, religious affairs, and sanitation, it makes it even bigger. Tell us your take about that.
Mr. Chairman, what I can say is that with your help, I will be able to do it. Simply because 3 ministries are going to be combined to make 1 ministry. It now becomes structural realignment, where coordinators will be positioned at the other ministries that are being brought together with the local government ministry. The sanitation model department will have a coordinator. The chieftaincy department will have a coordinator. And the local government itself will have a coordinator. And there will be a chief director who will be coordinating all these things. So man work or man duty will be to deepen effective supervision and ethical governance. With this, Mr. Speaker, Chairman, I believe we will be capable of doing it.
Thank you, Chairman, and thanks for the answer technically. Honorable nominee, there's this vexed issue of a turf war, supposedly, between MMDCs and members of parliament. I'm sure you would have had some experiences. Some parties or political parties even went to the extent of asking MMDCs who have intention of contesting for parliamentary elections to step aside. That tells you that even parties recognize that there's this step for. Tell us what your take is on this and how you will deal with that as a minister for local government when given the nod.
Mr. Chairman, the role of DCs, MMDCs, is different from the role of MPs. And having been a member of parliament for this man's 17th year, in my first year, I was given a story, and that is what I can tell my brother here. The current chairman of the National Democratic Congress, Honorable Asedun Ketia, once told me, Ahmed, when you become a member of parliament, don't be looking at what the DCs are getting. You chose to be a member of parliament. They chose to be DCs. Concentrate on your member of parliament, and you will go far. But if you are doing your member of parliament duty and you are still looking at what the DCs are getting, they are called chiefs. They are treated as kings, and we are treated as servants. If the servants want to look at what the chiefs are getting, there will be that confusion. In the same way, when the DCE is also looking at what the servant is also getting, he will be thinking of destabilizing that servant. And this has been the source of conflict among DCs and MPs. But if everybody will look at their jurisdiction, that conflict will be done away with. However, as a minister responsible for local governance, when given the nod, having been a whip in parliament for 12 years, Mr. Chairman, I will not, and I will repeat it, I will not allow any DCE to disrespect any member of parliament. In the same way, I will also make sure there's a common platform for DCs and members of parliament to be able to have frequent meetings for us to understand our various job descriptions. Because I've been a whip. There were instances where MPs were caged in Accra for over 9 months. They couldn't go to their constituencies in the name of doing parliamentary business. So if that understanding is not given to DCs, while the MP is here doing national assignment, the DC will be rapidly or radically destabilizing the member of parliament. When that one happens, it is not the MP you are fighting. You are fighting the very seat you are sitting on as DCs. When these things are made clear to the DCs and the MPs, I think there will be peace. Finally, Mr. Chairman, DCs who sabotage their MPs in the last elections couldn't win. As a whip, there were many complaints where DCs were sitting on the common fund of their MPs. Yet still the MPs won. So it is not how you mishandle your MP's common fund that will make the MP lose. DCE, use the money given to you to work. MP, use the one given to you to work. When everybody is to work on our various roles and responsibilities, there will be peace. But once again, I, as a former deputy whip for 12 years, will not allow any DCE to disrespect any MP. That is my word, and you can take it from me.
Thank you, Honorable Ahmed. Honorable Shabu, you have more questions. You have a last question.
Honorable nominee, I can see that members of parliament seated here and those listening to you have an impression that there's going to be some fireworks, and the positive one, of course, in their favor.
Thank you.
My last question has to do with DRIP. Your predecessor is here. He mentioned DRIP. And can you tell us who procured those equipment? In whose name are they procured? Are they assigned directly to assemblies? What's the actual mandate?
It's a chairman. Those times, the initiative, and if I'm to go deep into the DRIP, we may even sleep here. Because this is where Parliament held the administrator for this Assembly Common Fund to account for some 3.5 billion Ghana cedis arrests from 2018, 2019, 2020, and up to 2022. So it was that money, arrest, that was supposed to be given to the administrator to procure the machines. But Mr. Chairman, you and I will agree with me that when the machines were about to be procured, the Ministry for Local Government was not involved. They were procured at the office of the President. And as I speak to you, not all the money has been paid. The contract, when given the nod, everything will be made clear, and the House will be well informed about the position of the DRIP. It was a good concept, politicized and destroyed at birth, but we can rejuvenate it.
I wish you well, Honorable nominee.
Thank you, Honorable Shabu. It is now the turn of Honorable Vincent Eko Asafua, the MP for Otafu.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Let me first and foremost congratulate the nominee for
Thank you, my good friend.
For his appointment. I know he is going to deliver because being a leader of this house, he has shown the mettle and the intellectual capacity on the floor of the house. So I have no doubt in my mind that the Honorable Ahmed is going to be a very good local government minister. Having said that, I would want to pick your thoughts on two constitutional provisions. Before I got in, I was listening to you, and I think a question was asked you specifically that is the DACF administrator going to be answerable to you? And your answer was in the affirmative. In view of that, if you could turn your constitution to Article 70, if you have your constitution, you could turn it to Article 70 of the 1992 Constitution, 70C, which reads, that is, appointments by the President. The President shall, acting in consultation with the Council of State, appoint. The C is the District Assembly's Common Fund Administrator. If you also turn the same Constitution to Article 2524, which also reads that there shall be a fund to be known as the District Assembly's Common Fund. Therefore says that there shall be appointed by the President with the approval of Parliament. So, one constitution giving two different ways as to how a district assembly's common fund will have to be appointed. Administrator will have to be appointed. One, it says that with consultation with the Council of State. The latter says that with the approval of Parliament. So since you are saying that the District Assembly's Common Fund Administrator is going to be answerable to you in the event that you are called upon by His Excellency the President to give an opinion as to how this appointment will have to be done, what is going to be your take on this?
The nominee can answer, but I think from what you've read from the Constitution, I don't see any inconsistency. The President must appoint in consultation with the Council of State.
Chairman.
I'm coming. I will, but I'm the chair. I'm the chair. 10 of your mic, please. Yes, I know, but the chairman has views, and I have to express them. And so I believe that consulting the Council of State and getting Parliament to approve is not inconsistent. But nominee, I think you can answer that.
Thank you, Chairman. Chairman, yes.
My church member,
Chairman.
You must catch the eye of the chair.
I know.
You have not caught my eye.
Chairman.
Honorable Ahmed, go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, the question that was asked was, do I think that the Common Fund Administrator should report to the minister responsible for local government? And I answered in the affirmative. But the question was not in reference to the position of law. If it comes to the position of the law, Mr. Chairman, this is the Local Governance Act 2016. It was Parliament previously, the Local Governance Act 455, made the administrator for District Assembly Common Fund to report to the minister responsible for local government. In 2016, Parliament changed the law and made it that Section 129, that the minister, the District Assembly Common Fund Administrator, should report to Parliament and the office of the President. And that is what brought a turf war between the two. And since then, Mr. Chairman, there have been practical implementation challenges. And if a law was passed in 2016 and you've encountered practical implementation challenges, I think the law must be revisited, the defect must be corrected. And it was in that background that when the issue came, I stood with the law. And I told the minister responsible for local governance at that time, you brought the law and amended it. If you now think that the law is giving practical or implementation challenges, let's go back to Parliament and amend the law. So the answer I gave was in connection of how the cure can be given. Because one, during the law was passed in 2016. Honorable Hajia Alima had challenges. Honorable Damboche had challenges. My very good brother who was asking me these questions also had challenges. And, Mr. Chairman, the whole issue is how to resource local MMDs. And it is the minister responsible for local government who has that supervisory rules. So you can't give me job that I should go and fix the thing, and you've taken the pliers and the spanners from me. How am I going to fix it? That is why the former ministers for local governance after the law had those challenges. And Mr. Chairman, I don't want to sound too political, but truly, let's look at the performance of the MMDs, how DCs are not feeling comfortable to sit in their various offices because they always complain that greater portion of the DACF is deducted at source. So if the minister is giving control, the minister will get with members of parliament and will make sure that we do proper supervision, because through the committee responsible for local governance, you go and visit and we'll be able to do proper allocation and the right thing will be fixed. So you are right. The question was not what do I think about the position of the law. It said, what is man's opinion? Man's opinion is that, yes, the administrator must respond to the minister responsible for local government to give the ministry the opportunity to be able to do government policies.
Honorable Ahmed, in your answer, you brought up something very important. Okay. You brought out the issue of DACF deductions at source. That is a great worry to the district assemblies. And so I think that as a chief whip, you have first-hand information of these challenges. So I want you to take the opportunity to tell us what you will do to address it.
Mr. Chairman, the first position is to work together with Parliament, because the approval for the formula for the disbursement of common fund is done by Parliament through a committee of the whole. And thankfully, the person going to be responsible for finance is a former leader of this house who used to champion the releases together with me. And your good self. So this is something that man leaders, including you, used to do. And we are going to deepen it.
Honorable Sefua, do you have any follow-up?
Yes. Well, unfortunately, I didn't get the answer that I wanted to get from my honorable friend, the nominee. Honorable Ahmed, you cannot use an act of parliament, as it were, to meddle a constitutional provision. My question was, there are two constitutional provisions. Those constitutional provisions is determining how one appointment will have to be done. Article 17.
Honorable Asofua, you asked the question. The honorable member has given an answer. That is the honest opinion, he said. So that's why I asked you, do you have a follow-up?
So, no,
if you don't have a follow-up, then I wanted
to pick his opinion about if there is an opportunity for him that has been given to him by His Excellency the President as to how such an appointment will have to be done. My question to him is he going to advise the President to take the route of Article 70 or take the route of Article 252? Or he is going to also prefer to the President that, okay, now that there's a constitutional review committee, you think that even after the appointment, this is the position that I want to take. So, I just want to take his opinion in the event that he's asked as to how this appointment will have to be done, taking into consideration the two constitutional provisions as far as Article 70 and 252 is concerned.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, my answer was that my opinion was sought, and I gave my opinion. The question my very good brother is asking is the position of the law. But like he has rightly answered, I answered by saying that together with Parliament, we are going to amend the necessary laws. And then amending the necessary laws, it is not the minister alone who is going to do it. Truly, there's a constitutional review committee, like you have rightly said, and which is going to deal with the Constitution. But I just wanted it to be made clear that there have been implementation challenges. And those implementation challenges must be addressed. Addressing them will be amendment to the various laws regulating the appointment and the functions of the administrator for this Assembly Common Fund. So I take it on board.
Right.
Very much, Honorable Safwa. It's not the turn of Honorable.
I have other questions. I'm supposed to have three questions.
Well, I asked you, and when you were starting, I'll give you a chance.
My second question to the nominee is, with respect to election of MMDCs, I just want to pick your thought on that. All over the world, there seems to be a certain approval or some amount of unanimity as to election of MMDs. In Ghana, we don't have it that way. So, Mr. Chairman, can you protect me? I'm receiving bows from all over the table.
Please let the honorable member ask his question.
And so, one, do you agree to the fact that we should allow MMDCs to be elected? And secondly, does it have to be done on partisan basis? These are the questions I want to ask.
Mr. Chairman, one, the first question, I do agree that MMDCs must be elected. The second question is, I disagree that it must be done on partisan basis. And that is the bone of contention between the two sides. We said
vetting and Anopegu so Eric also our Parliament House
MMDCs must be elected on non-partisan basis. And you said they must be elected on partisan basis. We sold these two views to Ghanaians. We had 184, you had 88. It means Ghanaians totally agree with election of MMDCs on non-partisan basis. And I believe that if there's any time that this should be done, it should be now.
Thank you. Thank you.
Ghana, John Dramani Mahama. Honorable Leader, we are aware that MMDAs are supposed to generate revenue to be able to boost the local economy. And as a former MCE, one thing that happens mostly is that there are a lot of leakages in revenue mobilization. And I want to find out from you, how do you intend to work with the MMDAs to ensure that there will be blockage of leakages of revenue mobilization? Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, in the first place, we are all moving towards digitization of or automation of revenue generation channels. And therefore, the first solution will be to digitize all revenue generation or revenue collection points at the MMDAs. Two, Mr. Chairman, we must deliver open and accountable governance, where chiefs, opinion leaders, and people residing in a particular jurisdiction of a district assembly will be aware of, one, revenues generated from their electoral areas, two, revenue generated from their district assemblies, three, how those revenues have been applied to the various contracts that have been awarded. If we practice a bit of accountability, Mr. Chairman, I think it will go a long way to improve upon the revenue generation of the MMDAs. It should not be a one-man job. It must be a participatory service in nature.
Thank you very much. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Chairman. Honorable Leader, I want to find out from you if you will consider recruiting more revenue collectors to support in revenue mobilization. I speak as a typical example, citing my municipality, the Adikotopon. It's a big place, and I believe the revenue collectors there are not enough to be able to go around to collect the revenue to be used by the assembly.
The Chairman, having been a long-standing member of the local government committee, there was a particular exercise where we embarked upon a field work to go to the various MMDAs and identify how much IGF, internally generated fund, they've been collecting annually. The Chairman, it will surprise you. The staff, the amount spent on the revenue staff is more than the amount that is used to pay them. Most of the assemblies. And this was one of our fundings. And therefore, a lot of recommendations were given. And I think the report was taken on the floor of Parliament. And the records are there. So the issue goes beyond just recruitment. Secondly, in that report, we suggested that we employ a number of national service personnel as seated in Accra, some as receptionists, and
and offense TV,
XYZ, motivate them
appointment committee,
the opportunity to be
Honorable Ahmed Ibrahim,
retained. In that regard, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Chairman, I believe will help solve the problem.
Still have the last question.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Honorable Leader, my last one is, I believe in your capabilities, and I know you are going to work well as the Minister Designate for Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs. And I trust that you are going to work with our chiefs and religious bodies to ensure that we continue to enjoy the peace that we are enjoying. And I believe that with the Chieftaincy institution, you are going to keep an eye there, and whoever will represent you on that front will give you proper reports so that wherever there are issues, we'll be able to resolve them. On this note, I want to congratulate you again, and I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you, my good sister, Honorable Rita Odolesoa.
Thank you. It's now the turn of Honorable Patrick Yaobuama.
Thank you very much, Chairman, and congratulations to my good friend and brother. And then you'll be through.
Anyhow, thank you, my good brother.
Thank you. Ahmed, I can see a lot of prominent chiefs behind you, and your portfolio includes that of the Chieftaincy, our revered Chieftaincy institution, which is captured under Chapter 20 of our Constitution, 22. We have witnessed a lot of chieftaincy disputes in this country. Some resolved, some unresolved. Even if you look at the Chieftaincy Act of 1970, provisions were made for the traditional houses to settle disputes. Same repeated under the 2008 Act. The same definition for who a chief is retained, Asante and other paramount chiefs. Their designations and categorizations are there. If you go to
.9 FM so ne any TV XYZ you go so our parliament appointment committee no enim and asabre Okankwe Central Mrashebegweni Patrick Yaboa Maguswa or be some Kwamenka
Patrick Boama honorable Eguswa Obusa nsem edefa ye ahensem ho okay say one of the members of the committee no na or memasa nsem no so edefa ahensem ne kwan a yebetima fa so I'm managing here dealing with the various disputes. It's a honor ye ade here pa almost any say honorable Ibrahim Ahmed ebetimi ede emuaya hodo ede aba we afide ne ede adwanti no be say timi ba and I feel so sure whether na say the CIA na na ede say internet situation be fluid by example me sure so masaba
they can't even afford the services of lawyers to handle matters for them. Because for them to be able to hire us to handle
they kind of free daily dijumawa ha and to the be another but answer the cross back near air parliament
breaking news
okay
I think honorable Felix Fosukwache the Facebook one also the obi agina ho me also new batch of ministerial appointment about say day 14 days in president Mahama Shebo say by that time we select ne ministers and then na S20 niame hunu wa say awaiting confirmation.
It's now taking its rightful position with the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development. What we are going to do is to consider liaise with whoever becomes the Attorney General and look at how best the Attorney General, together with our revered chiefs, can work together to improve upon the conditions of the lawyers of the Ministry of Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs. With that, if the conditions appointment is being done by the Attorney General, the lawyers who are working at the Chieftaincy Judicial Committee and these things will have some sigh of relief because they will be entitled to the conditions of service of the lawyers in the Ministry of Attorney General, the Attorney General Ministry. In that way, Mr. Chairman, I believe it will help to retain good and qualified lawyers to support our chiefs. 2, now that we are going to be privileged to establish our own University for Local Governance Studies, one of the courses that are being suggested is that since our revered chiefs earn their positions by birth, it is the responsibility of the state, looking at the sensitive roles that they play, that we give them capacity building training by establishing a course in the University for Local Governance called Royal Academy of Chiefs, where the state will help or facilitate in training and organizing seminars and courses or capacity building courses for our chiefs by giving them the customary, taking them through the customary laws and those things. If that is done, Mr. Chairman, I believe it will go a long way to solve the problem that we have.
The Royal Academy of Chiefs, will it be a department or an academy?
Mr. Chairman, we have University of Local Governance Studies. DCE's capacity will be built. Chief's capacity will be built. Mr. Chairman, if you can't, I'm not a lawyer, but when it comes to law, our lawyers will tell you that when it comes to customary issues, they need to be given special touch. And these are the areas we are going to bring together to form a course that we call Royal Academy for Chiefs.
Very well. Honorable Obama, you have your next question if you haven't. Okay, Honorable Obama, hold it off.
Chairman, I didn't want to do this, but let me. Honorable nominee, welcome.
Thank you, my good friend.
And congratulations. In other words, it will be a faculty for chieftaincy studies. In other words.
Mr. Speaker, that is why the lawyers are there. Because you'll be brought together for us to bring the various subjects and courses together.
Thank you very much.
For now, we just want you to know that we have
you have intentions to run a formal program for our chiefs and queen mothers.
Exactly.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
And thank you for adding the queen mothers.
So, Honorable Obama, please go ahead.
Smart Ahmed. Ahmed, let me turn your attention to I think it's paragraph 6.31. Your intentions to upgrade. You have not been nominated. You can sit there and ask questions. Rocks in the Fiamepo. Page 181 of 200. You are proposing to set up, to come out with a formula to implement the plastic waste recycling fund under the Customs Excise Amendment Act. How much goes into the fund annually? And whether you have an idea of the proposed formula and its distribution. Because I'm sure you are thinking in the light of the DACF formula or the GET fund or the NHI formula with regards to this. But first and foremost, you need to know how much, because this is what you call the baller tax that you spoke against. And now in the manifesto, you are thinking of coming out with a formula under your waste management program, solid waste management program. I don't begrudge you, but I want to have an idea. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, that will fall under the jurisdiction of the Minister for Finance. Now that all the taxes are being considered and being realigned, so if you can give me the benefit of the doubt, let's wait for the Minister for Finance to bring the budget latest by next month or next 2 months. Then we'll see the way forward. Once this, for now, it is a policy. Once the calculations and the things have not yet been done, when the Minister for Finance bring it, you and I are here, and we are going to work together to know what will go into it. But for the record, you know, I thought you were going to credit me. We were all part of a three committee made up of 75 MPs who went on nationwide tour to come to propose that there must be a sanitation tax, which is called Bola tax. And Mr. Chairman, you know I was the convener of those 3-member committee. So I thought you were going to credit me. From where we sit, some may speak against it, but it was our brainchild.
Chairman, I don't have any further questions for my friend. I'm needed in the chamber, and I have to beg leave of you. Congratulations. I wish you the very best.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. But Honorable Boama, you know you will be and your services will be highly needed in my new ministry.
For a fee.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable. It's now the turn of Honorable Roxanne Dafiamapo.
Chairman, Thank you very much. Chairman, I have a couple of questions for my whip, and it's to enhance his work. No malice intended at all yet. So let's make progress. The key issue for members of parliament and also the assemblies, especially, because having had the opportunity to serve on the Public Accounts Committee for 8 years, I've come accustomed to the peculiar problems of the assembly in carrying out their mandate. It's in respect of the late releases of their share of the common fund. And as the sector minister, if this persists, we are going to be bedeviled with this. What innovative means will you deploy to ensure that there are regular releases of these funds to the various assemblies to carry out their mandate from not the Ministry of Finance, but from the administrator?
Mr. Chairman, you and I know that any government that plays with the timely release of this Assembly Common Fund to the MMDs pays the consequences. In 2014, the NDC couldn't pay the third quarter. I was a deputy whip. We spoke about it. We lost the 2016 elections. After that, it was paid. In 2024, the current government also delayed in paying the third and fourth quarter. He also paid the price. And after losing, he has paid. Whether you win or lose, you pay it. So a government that is in power and you want to win your elections, you must pay for your DCEs to work. If they work, the electorate will be happy and they will vote for you. So I'm not going to keep my mouth shut because I'm the minister responsible for local governance. I will continue to work as I used to work when I was a whip and when I was a member of the local governance committee, and make sure there is timely releases of those funds. Thankfully, the person I used to do the work together with, and that was the minister responsible, is now going to occupy the high office of the minister responsible for finance, who is very organized and focused, and who understands he's a 5-time member of parliament. I'm a 5-time member of parliament. We all understand the repercussions of not paying. So if we want the electorates to be happy and retain the government, we'll do whatever possible to make sure the monies are released. Secondly, Mr. Chairman, you asked in connection with the person who sits at the office of the administrator for this Assembly Common Fund. That is going to be a crucial consideration that we must all take due cognizance of. If you consider the role that such a sensitive office plays, the person who occupies it must be a person that will be vetted by this very committee. And it is for that reason that article, the Constitution is clear that this committee must not only vet the minister responsible for local governance, but you must also vet the person who is going to be the administrator for District Assembly Common Fund. So whoever is going to sit there will come before you for vetting. And I believe this question, when he comes, it must also be made clear to him or her.
Beautiful. Now, one problem that the Public Accounts Committee also got confronted with as a result of the Auditor General having to flag it year in, year out, is the issue of the deterioration of assembly offices. A lot of our district assemblies, the structures are in a state of disuse, and it's a problem. They are unable to raise the necessary funds to undertake early renovation. And so as the years roll by, the structures falls into desuetude, as lawyers will say. Your ministry, so these are the existing problems. Desuetude, that's a law term. Disuse. So these are the existing problems for your ministry. How are you going to tackle this with alacrity so that the assemblies, they operate from very good environment, so to speak?
As a matter of fact, there is going to be a radical shift of mindset at the various MMDAs, no matter the cost. I can build a whole district. You cannot be given one building, and you say that within that district jurisdiction, they cannot maintain that one house. I totally disagree. So what we can do when given the nod is that if you are a district chief executive and you are unable to maintain, repair your own office, then you have no business sitting there. That is a fact. 2, DCs are not protocol officers. They are local economic development agents. You cannot be sitting there waiting for Accra to bring you money. That will also be tackled. That is why I said we are going to form a common platform where all the former ministers for local governance, former chief directors responsible for local, they are all going to be consulted. When it comes to local governance, we have the Honorable Joseph Yelichre, the Honorable Ofusan Pofu, the Honorable Oponfoso, the Honorable Matiaje Mensa Kosa, the Honorable Damboche, Haji Alima. We have a number of former ministers for local governance. They all wanted to do something small, they couldn't complete it. The same way, we have former chief directors. They all wanted to do.
Has been an amazing year, but I believe 2025 is going to be much better. We at High Sense want to say a very big thank you to you for patronizing us. Stay blessed and Happy New Year. I go by the name Dance God Lloyd. Official
2025, we can't wait to see you. We can't wait to have fun with you. High Sense loves you. It's your girl Afronita, Official
2024, say High Sense money koye maudia. And then 2025, a triple. Yes, so friends, son. High Sense the Ghana for you now say. Who costs no money yenye juma? Yet damn say. High Sense mama Official. High Sense every day. Nasi, who costs no money yenye juma? Yet damn say. High Sense mama Official. High Sense everyday prices for everyday people.
I am Chinese Dr. Wei. You are welcome to Roma Ridge Traditional Chinese Clinic. We deal with the stroke case and the kidney matter and the spine problem. So most of the time our patients, they come here because of the traditional medicine. and acupuncture and the traditional therapy. We use this the method to help the patient come out from the illness. Always we do our best for our patient. The patient also take us as friends. We want the patient to come inside with happiness and also go with happiness. That is our work.
Roman Rich Traditional Clinic was established in 2022 by Dr. Wei Young. Dr. Wei has been in the practice for over 16 years.
I have known Dr. Wei Young for over 17 years. He is compassionate, hardworking, and very professional in his dealings. His facility is well known for the way it manages strokes, heart disease, liver, kidney, and other problems.
Our services include laboratory services, X-ray, scan, and general consultation.
But the brand here, my goodness, Roman Ridge Traditional Chinese Clinic. Now, the pork on Ampa, one share me, I'm a told me. Ne Honsun and Hulu say, send one sign Yarwa be it be a stroke, diabetes, hypertension, spine, liver, and kidney problems. May come from our say, I believe Biara, over problem Biafra side we now. For when it's a Roman Ridge Traditional Chinese Clinic, one of the show and Wapumudin, Ejina Pinting.
Roman Traditional Chinese Clinic, we have our special treatment for our patients. And I do believe that good emotion should be the best medicine for our health.
Welcome to the Royal Dazzle Event Center. With a lush and well-maintained lawn and garden, you are assured of the best serene and comfortable atmosphere to organize all your family and social events. Live the royal moments here with friends and family. The hosting capacity of 600 to 800 people makes Royal Dazzle the most versatile of places to host weddings, parties, funerals, conferences, concerts, and many more. Create your memories with us. Call us for inquiries on 055-814-8585 or 024-620-2144 or pass by and speak to any of our friendly staff. Locate us at Myjohn, close to Zoom Lion headquarters. Royal Dazzle Event Center, creating memories.
If I cry na menyisika, etia ye mefui.
Ehin fapa na menya bosi.
And Auditor General will make recommendations, retrieve the money and prosecute. It's never done. Will you consider, as part of your new policy directives for the ministry, to ask that assemblies in recruiting revenue collectors, they should have guarantors? Somebody must guarantee before you are made to collect revenues on behalf of the assembly. So when the person absconds, there's somebody to be held responsible for. Will you consider that?
The chairman, it must be seriously considered. And now that the owners of the land and the owners of the district have been brought on board, I think those things must be things of the past. And that's why I said revenue collectors who account openly. to the district for us to see the electoral areas that are performing and those that are underperforming. These are critical areas that we must all look at. If a revenue collector or a commission revenue collector has come with the money, whose money do you think he's running away with? It's your money. And therefore, we must all make sure that we fish for them. So when the chiefs have been brought on board, and you bring stricter and rigid measures regarding revenue collection, and the IGF is used for something concrete for people to see, I think there will be improvement. But when you go and collect the revenue, the people don't see what you have used with the revenue IGF locally. Tomorrow, when you go, will you get? The answer is no. So we must start a new thing. Give ourselves some time. Look at the returns, same thing, and expect a different result. There must be a new reset.
Thank you very much. Let me conclude by saying that I like the points in respect of the chieftaincy issues, where you are proposing that lawyers from the Office of the Attorney General will be seconded to the various traditional councils to assist them in their work. It will be such a major policy shift, because the decisions from the judicial committees of traditional councils actually settles a lot of chieftaincy disputes all the way to the Supreme Court. So that proposal, if you are able to do it, will be a major thing that will bring comfort to our chiefs and queen mothers. And I want to thank you for that innovative idea. I thank you for coming.
Thank you, my very
and once more, congratulations. Mesro Onehao.
Honorable Ahmed, my brother,
and leader.
Congratulations.
Thank you, leader.
I entered this parliament in 2009 with you. We were over 100 members. Today, I think we are, that 2009 group, we are 4 of us. It's me, you, Honorable Atufos, and I'm remembering, and Honorable Bejra. That should tell you about the attrition of parliament. And it also must tell you what it takes to sustain being a member of parliament. You have been a deputy whip, and when we were fortunate to be part of leadership, your experience was really very valuable in guiding us. You have been very passionate about the issues of local government.
Thank you.
And so there is no doubt in my mind that you are going to be very successful as a local government minister. Now, what is exciting about this new role, and that brings me to the very important question I have for you, has to do with the role of chiefs. You know that chiefs has been really the governor has been with the chiefs at the local level since the beginning. And so when we started going this part in democracy, I think that what has always come up has to do with what we can do to really get our chiefs involved in local governance. Yes. This ministry, I'm sure, has been put this way for a purpose. Can you share with us some of the things you would do to really get our chiefs to be active at the local governance level?
Thank you, my leader and my very good brother. There are so many things we do together with our chiefs. Mr. Chairman, you are not far from right when you said traditionally our chiefs used to be the development agents and leaders in their various jurisdictions until the modern governance came. So the merger or the fusion of tradition, Mr. Chairman, there will be a common interface.
Now, Sabre, say Honorable Dr. Casiel Atoforsi one was sorry Kasa. And I'm sure say around issues Libya committee in the war about nominees, may sure say no komo and omu but as a when feed I read in Yabako host CA Nafe Yahre Senia and Komono AC but I realized that 2 minutes ago or 5 minutes ago, now a heated debate between Dom Kessie and Afano and Dom Kumano Afa. Emma, your friends say first deputy speaker, Ebemwa or Shema, Eyekom. It is a feed, I read ya, Yabetwako, now Yako, the chamber of parliament. Yanko.
Okay. Minority leader. Minority leader, you have the floor.
Mr. Speaker, at the pre-sitting, the understanding was we'll proceed with a joint caucus. When we done and we back, we proceed with the other matters. So, Mr. Speaker, that's understanding, and we'll go with that. Thank you.
Honourable members, I suggest that we lay the report for distribution to members, and thereafter we can do the joint caucus and then come back.
Mr. Speaker, we had. Oh, you want to vote? Okay. Vote on what? Mr. Speaker, we had an understanding. Let's go by, Mr. Speaker, let's go by the majority leader's discussion. Let's go by what the
leader. You know the rules of the House. Just address the chair.
Mr. Speaker, the respected leader of government business and leader of the House has suggested that we go into a joint caucus, and upon return, we proceed with other business. That was not the understanding. No. Mr. Speaker, let's go into joint caucus. When we come back, delaying will be done. If some orders would have to be suspended for the matter to be taken, we are going to cooperate with you, of course, subject to good behavior.
Honourable Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker,
Right, Honourable Speaker, as earlier indicated, it is time for us to move to a joint caucus meeting, so I urge you to suspend so that we can move into joint caucus meeting. Thank you.
The honourable members, sitting is accordingly suspended.
Say Edra abenta wantawa ye correct e kwan ombefa so na omatimi asolve nothing yasaba benche bia no yesa de ukọ Ghana mrase bedwafie wa na this time round ye de mo ukọ appointment committee almost sittings no me sure say ye gusu aye toto Honorable Ahmed Ibrahim ano
nti ye cross back ne enko appointment committee honum
Council representation of Bono House of Chiefs. Chiefs, you're welcome. We have Warden Otikin, Prof. Odafia Walenti, the third paramount chief, Nungwa Traditional Area, and President Greater Accra Regional House of Chiefs, He's a representative of the National House of Chiefs as well. You're welcome, Nana. The third is we have Osajifu Ampim Eya Mampong Mamprako the third. Wenchi Mahin, representative of the Bono Regional House of Chiefs. Nana, you're welcome. We also have Apostle Emmanuel Tete. You're welcome. We have the Church of Pentecost, Pastor Emmanuel Kuku Apia, Sakuma District Pastor is here. Ambassador Kwajo Nyamchebafo, Honorable, my former regional minister, you're welcome. Ms. Gifty Ibrahim Ahmed, Madam, thank you so much for the support. Nana Libi Watiu Banda Traditional Council representative, you're welcome. We have Nana Jato the second. Banda Traditional Council, Nana, you're welcome. Nana Pe Abuatia the second. Bamuhini Banda Traditional Council, you're welcome. Nana Kaka Bakon Banda Traditional Council. Nana Hanteli Obrimpohini Banda Traditional Council. Ahaji Sunkwa of Kumasi, you're welcome. Awulai Angama Tuajan of Mahini of Jura Traditional Area in the Zima East area. Nana, you're welcome. Nana Etia Kradi, the second chief of Jura Banso in the Zima area, my own area. Nana, you're welcome. Tegbe Awusagba Bakwa, the second chief Gui Akanyan Krom, you're welcome. Akanyakro, okay, you're welcome. Hajia Ramata, Mom, God bless you. Okuji Abo Bankwadi Osiakwahini of Bada Traditional Council, you are welcome. Honorable Kwesi Kofi Kra Pauline, MP La Côte d'Ivoire, President of the Evaluation Commission, Public Policies, cousin of Honorable Ahmed. Ahmed, also will be yours. Come and join me. Amin Abdul Rahman, you're welcome. And then we have the Chief Director of the Ministry of Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs. Now, as it is now, and all the officials that came with them. You are all welcome. Nominee, you are discharged. Thank you. Yeah, colleagues, we will break and we will reconvene late this afternoon. Oh, we also have Sunyani Secondary School. All students who came and some officials from Sunyani Secondary School. You are all welcome. Colleagues, there will be a break. We will come back after Parliament adjourns. I thank you very much.